Yes, I love you too. I do. It's time we have a talk. I notice that's a nice pillow you have, by the way. I notice you've been kind of laying around a lot lately, and well, quite frankly, I need you to know that I still find you attractive, and you're funny. You're so animated. The things you do make me laugh. You really do. You've brought so much joy and gave me so many memories for the rest of my life. And that's got me concerned about your overall health. I notice you've been putting on some extra weight lately. Oh, now you don't want to look at me. That's fine. So I think it's time we talk about putting you down. That came out totally wrong. That came out totally wrong. I meant we need to get your weight down. Hi-oh! Welcome back to YouTube, everybody. Greetings and salutations. Guess what? You're too fat. Yeah, I said it. You're too fat. Well, you might be too fat. What do I mean by that? I mean your hitch weight, how much weight you're carrying in your truck. Too many people confuse hitch weight with towing capacity of your truck. Well, they're two totally separate things. I recently came across a post on one of the Facebook pages I belong to, the RV Double Tow group, because we double tow. People talk on that page about lengths, weights, measures, all that kind of stuff. Somebody made a post about how much are you guys towing? Well, how much is your camper? How big is your camper that you're towing with your 3/4 ton truck? The lack of knowledge, dare I say, the stupidity was numbing, absolutely numbing what I saw. Some of these people are towing with a 3/4 ton truck, and in many cases that was dually territory.
On Facebook, there's a group called the RV Double Tow group, and that's where people talk about hauling doubles or towing doubles. A gentleman made a post about what size fifth wheel camper are you guys pulling with a 2500, a 3/4 ton. You would not believe the people on there towing like Monster Grand Design 395 MS toy haulers or KZ Venom gigantic Cyclones triple axles that are clearly well over their hitch weight capacity of their truck. And I started asking them questions, and they just couldn't understand the difference between towing capacity or hitch weight capacity. The one gentleman I had a conversation with, I did the math. He's clearly well over 1,000 pounds beyond his hitch weight capacity. And here again, you've got to know the differences of hitch weight versus towing capacity.
Your hitch weight, that's how much weight your camper is when you lower it onto your truck, whether you're hauling fifth wheel or travel trailer, pull behind type trailer. So you have hitch weight that goes into the back of your truck, gooseball, fifth wheel, and then you have bumper pull style, what goes onto your receiver hitch at the back of your truck. Two totally separate things. You need to know the capacity. You need to keep in mind that not only, like mine, 2,580 pounds. When I lower that camper onto my truck, I just added 2,580 pounds to the bed of my truck. That's hitch weight. When you put supplies like clothing and gear and whatever other personal effects you have in the front of your camper up here in that front section, you're adding to your pin weight. When you add a passenger or two passengers or three passengers, if you add a dog or two, food, supplies, cargo that goes in the back of your truck, leveling blocks, all that stuff, you need to know what it weighs. You need to know what your truck's hitch capacity is or towing capacity, not how much it will tow. Two completely different things. Let me show you what I mean. Now here we have a 2021 Chevy Silverado 1-ton Duramax truck, okay? On your truck, at least on most trucks, you go to the driver's side door, all right? Now, on that door, you're going to see a sticker just like that. That's going to tell you what your truck can haul. You see where it says max payload at the bottom there? See where it says 3,757 pounds in the bottom right corner? That's how much I can put safely onto or into this truck, including the hitch weight of my camper, which actually is 2,480 pounds. See the lower sticker? That's going to tell you the max tongue weight, or if you're hauling gooseneck or fifth wheel. All right, you guys, so let's break this down. Now, you saw my door sticker. This figure, 3757, this is gooseneck towing capacity, okay, or payload capacity. This is gooseneck. If I were towing a bumper pull, that's going to be different. I believe mine said 3,000 pounds without looking at the sticker again. So that completely changes the game. If I'm hauling a fifth wheel on a fifth wheel hitch or a goose ball, I can haul 3,757 pounds. Now, what does that mean? Right here, this is how much my camper's hitch weight is. Like I said earlier, when I drop it onto the truck, I just added 2,480 for pounds. If I weigh 220, if my wife weighs 130, if the dogs weigh 110, if I throw supplies in like food, beverages, all that, I'm allowing about 50 pounds. My hitch itself, the fifth wheel hitch itself that mounts to the pucks in the back of my truck, weighs 97. Fuel, I have down 539 pounds. You're asking, how can that be that much? Let me tell you why. My truck has a 36-gallon fuel tank. Diesel weighs 7.1 pounds per gallon. If I'm running another 40 gallons of fuel, or 30, I'm allowing for the weight of my auxiliary fuel tank that I run in the back of the truck. And if I put 30 to 40 gallons of fuel in it, I'm going to be right at about 539 pounds. That combines to about 3626. That leaves me 131 pounds to play with when I'm hauling fifth wheel, not bumper pull. You guys have to know the difference of your max tongue weight for the back of your truck versus your max payload capacity if you're hauling gooseneck or fifth wheel. Now, if I add some clothes up in the front of my camper, does that all weigh out to 131 pounds? I don't know. I have to weigh it and find out. But you guys need to be weighing all these things that you put into your truck and stay within that rating. Now, let me tell you another reason all this matters. Because I have not come across it myself personally in my life, my experience when I'm rolling down the road with my rig. But on the pages, I have seen other people who have gotten into an accident. What does that mean for you? If something happens and you get into an accident and you get a savvy officer, a state trooper, law enforcement, or if you get a savvy insurance agent that's working on your claim, they may very well check if you were within your limits. I have seen it on the pages before where people got in big trouble and they were liable out of pocket because their towing rig, their truck's payload capacity, and the amount of weight that they were putting onto and into that truck exceeded the truck's ratings. And therefore, they had their claims denied, and they had to pay out of pocket. Ooh, and another thing that makes my blood boil, you guys, is when it comes to your truck and you show up at the dealership to buy a camper, there are so many dealerships out there that don't pay attention to what you're using. They're desperate to sell you a camper, so they just want to sell you a camper. Oh yeah, your truck will be fine. A lot of times that's not the case. Towing capacity, hitch capacity, payload, gross combined weight ratio, gross vehicle weight ratio, curb weight, all that stuff plays a factor in how much your truck can safely tow. Just because you have a 3/4 ton truck doesn't mean you should be out there pulling a 45-foot triple axle toy hauler. There's so many dealerships that are quick to sell you a truck, to sell you a camper. You got to know your limits, man. One more ignorant thing that people do. Yeah, I said ignorant. People can be ignorant when it comes to their truck in the back. I've had so many people tell me, oh, I added airbags. It's fine. Airbags don't add payload capacity. All they do is soften the ride. They absorb the bumps and the imperfections on the highway. God knows we have plenty of those out there, don't we? There are some road bombs. So yes, airbags help significantly, or timbrins. If you haven't heard of those before, that's a bump stop or jounce. That keeps your suspension and your springs from bottoming out. You can run timbrins, you can run airbags. They don't add to your payload capacity. So in closing, what does all this mean? It means you got to be smart. You got to do your research. All the manufacturers of vehicles, if you go to like Chevy.com or Ford or Dodge or Ram or whoever, if you go on their main website, they post, and you can see, if you can't find your door sticker, you can find your truck. It'll talk about towing capacity and all that kind of stuff and what you can safely do or can't do. You guys would not believe, and I'm sure a lot of you know what I'm talking about. When you're traveling up and down life's highways, I cannot believe the ignorance out there of what some people are towing. I've seen SUVs that are pulling big bumper pulls or travel trailers that are just riding, they're squatting something fierce. It looks terrible. My wife and I shake our head. It's a good thing I shaved my head, or I'd be plucking all the hair out. Drives me crazy, the stuff I've seen out there. So be smart. Do your homework, do your diligence, and find out if your vehicle is rated properly to tow what you want to buy. Until next time, see ya.